Don't think I'm asleep to what's going on here in this country. This is a very important video. It's to keep you guys alert to what's going on in the world today. When things are not looking like they're going in the favor of the president that's in charge, normally during an election year when things are coming around, there's always an event that comes around that shock and awe that turns people's attention away from the actual things that's going on depending on their job. Same thing happened with Bush. Same thing happened with every Republican that seemed to have been in office. There was a situation that had to happen when it had to happen. Always during an election year. These factors have always happened in politics, and it always happened around the world. Nothing new here. It's nothing different. Now, you want to kill an Iranian general, just got to remind yourself of things that is happening out here in the world. It's things that I've seen before. Dirty Little Secrets of World War II. This will tell you everything that's happening right now, and definitely the killing of Osama bin Laden. These books are exactly what's going on right now. What's up, Kevin Finley? And you always come through with a super chat, man. I appreciate that. Everybody, y'all should take a step and follow his lead. These two books tell you everything you need to know about what's going on right now. And they're on my shelf. So it's nothing very new here to me. I'm someone who have read and know exactly what's going on here because they want to get this perfectly legal. It's all perfectly legal, baby. Now, this is going to make Iran, this is like pushing the button. Trump came out and bragged. He basically bragged about, yeah, we're taking them all out. We did not take action to start a war. We're just going to let them know that we're taking them out. We're taking them all down. Just nonchalantly, unpresidential. At this point, it is what it is. But he's supposed to be on his holiday vacation, right? When an F-15 Eagle attacked an Iranian-sponsored militia group, right? At Iraq and Syria, in response to a series of rocket attacks that led to the death of an American contractor 2 days earlier, right? Let this sink in. U.S. F-15 Strike Eagles attacked an Iranian-sponsored militia group at their base in Iraq and Syria in response to a series of rocket attacks that led to a death of an American contractor 2 days earlier. But privately, okay, they came up with an agitated president whether to kill Iranian general, whose military leaders describe as responsible for the attacks of an American citizen, and is likely to kill more generals. Why did Trump choose this moment to explore an operation against some Iranian people, when you were tolerating Iran's aggression in the Persian Gulf for months. You've tolerated everything they've done all this time. Officials gave all these incomplete accounts of the intelligence. And they said, oh, well, it prompted Trump to act. Where was your decision at before? Why would you do this to try to lead into war? You think a war will keep you in office while you're going through this impeachment. If there's a war going on, we got to keep the president in power. There's a war. We need a president. See, it's tremendously bold, and it's even surprised a lot of people. Didn't surprise me. I was waiting for it. Just showed you the books. You know the history of this nation. You should know that they ain't going to do this type of act because one American contractor passes away by a rocket. Well, let's look at the step. On Friday, after hours after a U.S. drone killed the Iraqi minister leader, what's his name, Soleimani, the Iraqi militant leader, whatever, at the Baghdad airport, the State Department told the reporters and everybody that was around that he had been planning some attacks directed at killing hundreds of Americans. If you believe that, Popeye's a sissy. Hey, I ain't gonna say it ain't true. I just know I know our government backwards and forth. I just showed you those two books. That's all you need to know about that. If you believe that, come on. It's like showing you a movie you've already seen how it's going to play out. They were like, okay, well, what's the specifics? So Mike Pompeo said that he was actively plotting in the regions to take action. The big action, he described it, would have put dozens, if not hundreds of American lives at risk. We know it was imminent. Well, he's gone. So what was it? What was the plan? What was this information? What was the big action? Huh? There's no details as to what the alleged Iranian targets were or what made it so imminent that they had to strike to take his life. We have no details. Nothing. But they keep telling us it's imminent. It was going to kill hundreds of Americans so that people would rally behind it. Saying they may well be an ongoing plot, as Pompeo claims. It's crazy out here, y'all. Look, killing that man when would be neither necessary nor sufficient to disrupt an operational progression of an imminent plot. Do you understand that? What it might do, instead of like shock the system or change a decision calculus, but it would just deter a future further attack. It wouldn't stop anything. So in a conference call, the national security, what's his name, O'Brien, said that the airstrike happened recently after he visited Damascus and was plotting to target U.S. military and diplomatic personnel. So they said the strike was aimed at disrupting ongoing attacks that were being planned by him for future Iranians and proxies and all these things, and for defense officials and all this stuff in the Gulf. Called off an airstrike at the last minute, and then they said this is all because they downed a drone or something. It's just so much BS going on, and that you're being fed that you're like, did they just murder him just to murder him? That's what it looked like. Now, the American construction worker, the contractor, the reason for this, right? Let's look at him. He's one of the roots of the current crisis that can be traced all the way back to Christmas, right? Christmas. When a barrage of missile fires exploded a K-1. That's the U.S. Iraqi base on the southern edge of northern Iraqi city. About 30 rockets that American officials said were fired at the air base several hours after sundown. 9 landed within the sprawling facility. 30 rockets, 9 hit, and only 1 American casualty? This story just sounds very, very, very weird. So America blames this militia group, funding arms from Iran. They said 3 U.S. soldiers and an Iraqi federal police, and said the attacks killed an American interpreter who identified themselves. And but they're not going to make that public. And the person that was working along the other forces, about 100 U.S. personnel on the base, is part of a campaign of the Islamic State. What more can we say here? But watch yourself. Now, if we're at war, we got to keep the acting president in there. Can't impeach a president that's going to war. Man, this thing is crazy. I don't mean to smile at this. The whole thing is just insanity. Yeah, it makes you shake your head like this. I'm just tired of it. Lord knows I'm tired. I'm tired. Every president has done this. When it's around election time, that fear start kicking in. They start kicking up dust with people. They start giving out money to the poor and giving out jobs. Look, the current president's giving out jobs. Trump has come out and said black people are responsible for everything in America. We built everything. Did you hear that? Trump has said black people have built everything in America. You know it's an election year. You know it's an election year when somebody say that. This man come out and said black people responsible for building everything in America. The coolest thing Iran could do is just sit back and say, you know what, we're gonna sit back. Nah, don't nobody move. What? We're gonna stay here. They want us to run in and attack. No, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna see what their next move gonna be. Because right now, they're trying to force the country to react with war. When everything seems sketchy, that's what I'm saying. When everything else, if this was sketchy, if this was anything else, if this was the Bloods and Crips doing this, we'd be like, we can read this like, man, we know this is a sketch. We'll pick this thing apart. You say US and Iran, we act like we don't know what's going on. I don't know. Be like, are you crazy? You see all these people talking and how they talking? They make themselves sound like idiots. Something is a simple, like, well, what's the reason for the action? They don't know. But they just making up stuff on the fly. I'm telling you, boy, something else going on out here, boy. They better not mess up my gas dealing with all this nonsense. I'm gonna get out of here though.